All right, we are live and we're back. Welcome, welcome. This is Andre here out of Jacksonville, Florida, part of the Overcoming Our Odds group. And we want to just talk about this evening as far as how to break away from the systems mentality and whatever type of systems you might be thinking about, as far as maybe jobs, schools, or maybe government as well. You're pretty much right on point as far as just how to get out of that stinking mentality and not really worry about your current situation, wherever you are in, but it's really just helping to just build on yourself. But before we go into any further depth, we'll just go and let the pretty much let the go and introduce the rest of the panel. Starting and now it's basically a minus one plus one because we don't have one on here this evening, but we had someone as our special guest not too long ago, but now he's gonna be a regular, and we're stoked to have him. So, Aaron, go ahead, man.
Hey guys, so my name is Aaron Martinez, and I've gotten to know these guys here on the panel, guys and girl, Patricia, who's not currently on with us yet, but apparently she's going to join here in a bit. And yeah, just like Andre was saying, we wanna talk about what it means to be unplugged from the matrix, so to speak. So we're really excited about what we're going to be sharing with you. And yeah, I'm just pleased and grateful to be invited to be on this panel. So I hope I can serve you in a really good way. So um, back to you, Andre.
All right, let's keep on passing on the baton. So go ahead, Ian.
Yeah, this is Ian here from the UK as well, currently in Orlando, in a hotel room somewhere, and I have no idea what I'm going to share tonight, so we're going to make it up as we go along, so I'm not even sure what we're talking about, but so literally anything could come out of my mouth, so I'm sure I'll just, share my experiences and things that might relate to something, so yeah.
Oh, this is perfect timing. This is perfect timing. So since we're live, go ahead, Patricia. Since you just came on just on time.
Hi, it's Patricia Henry here, and I'm so excited about this wonderful topic. Our limiting beliefs, the system, what is keeping us back from doing what we need to do with our businesses. So I'm excited to be here.
Cool, cool, cool. This is great. This is great. We also wanted to talk about this particular topic, though, and Aaron hit it right on point, talking about getting rid out of the matrix mentality, is because we just got out of a company event here just recently, this past weekend in Orlando, and really what we pretty much thought together as really was the theme of the whole weekend was just get rid of that systems mentality, always putting the blame on different things other than really looking deep into yourself as far as like, is this really the system? Is this really the situation's fault, or is it my fault for what I've been thinking to produce these type of results? Something to really sit back and think about too. Again, um, if you think it's kind of harsh too, or it's kind of cool, then just sit back and just think about, just pay attention to what we're saying too, because hopefully you'll be able to just understand too, as far as where we're coming from, is that type of mentality. We'll just start off from the general. Starting off from schools. It doesn't matter what type of education or how far you've been in schools. Let's be honest. And this is speaking for somebody too that's who's went to high school, college as well. And it doesn't matter what type of education. I don't care if you've dropped out of elementary, high school, college. What's the main thing schools basically try to put on you too? One more important thing is you're punished for making mistakes. What happens when you get in the real world? You make mistakes. That's how you learn from them, too. The only thing is, too, when you get older, the unfortunate part is you get afraid to make a mistake. You get afraid to do something different outside the norm. Perfect example, since we just came out of a company event, some people that would think that what we do in our profession, in the home-based business profession, would be out of the norm or risky. That's the systems mentality, unfortunately, because it's just different. I guess basically when you go to school, what they were train you to do. And Aaron, you know this too, because we both went to college as well too, man. I know Patricia. As far as like go to school, get good grades, find a safe, secure job, and then when you retire, that job basically takes care of you for the rest of your life. You go ride the sunset, live happily ever after. Or do you?
Yeah, definitely. Can I touch on that a little bit?
Go ahead, man.
Okay, so like Andre was saying, I went through all the way through high school, got good grades, got into college, went through college in order to get an electrical engineering degree, and then after that I went and began my career in electrical engineering, and I thought I was set up pretty well and everything, but what they don't tell you when you go through that system is you're basically getting groomed to take orders from somebody else. You're getting told when you can take vacation. You're also setting yourself up to you think you're going to be making all this money, but you realize that you've come out of college with just tens of thousands of dollars of debt. Like in my case, many other people can relate. Maybe you can relate too. And so you're stressing about, okay, I went through 4 or 5 years of college, whatever, and now I'm struggling with, okay, I need to pay that back, and then you've got all these other things that are added onto that. So growing up and everything, you're taught to kind of fit this mold, like you're being molded into what society wants you to be. You're being molded into what society accepts, rather than being encouraged to be an individual and to like Andre was saying, make mistakes, learn from those mistakes, and be able to just be an individual and do what you want. As long as it's morally, moral, ethical, and not breaking any laws or anything. Why not be able to go out and think for yourself, do what it is you want, even if it's outside the norm? But we're taught that it's kind of ridiculous to have these big dreams, because a lot of people don't achieve the type of things that we've set out to achieve. And so we're here to try and inspire you to dream a little bigger, to let you know it's okay to dream big, and to also just be okay with yourself. Like, you've got to not be afraid to put yourself out there. And when you put up a wall in front of yourself, maybe you're trying to protect yourself from bad things happening to you from the outside world, but at the same time, when you put that wall up, you're also not letting yourself project out to the world. And the world needs people like you. The world needs your talents and your gifts, and you have so much to offer. So that's kind of my take on the whole system thing. Just there's systems in place that are trying to get you to box you in, and what you really want to do is try and figure out how to break that paradigm, shift your mindset, and realize that you have a lot of unique gifts to offer, and it's okay to explore those and to grow as an individual. So that's my thoughts on that.
Can I speak in before? Because I literally got the last sentence of that, and now it's echoing again. So I'm not sure how it's for you guys. If there's an echo, but I'm getting a really bad echo. I'm talking to myself, but I don't really something. So how do I sound? Am I okay?
A little bit better. You still got a little echo in the background, but you sound a lot better. I can hear you a lot better.
Yeah. Right. So I didn't hear any of what you just said, but what I wanted to put in, it was like, it's like we get stuck. We get in this box our whole lives. From a very young age, we're always trying to get from our parents. We're almost like taken care of too well nowadays in society. It's like we're always in a box that's like limiting our freedom. For instance, like you go in from as old as you're able to walk. You have the boundaries. Even in your house, or you maybe when you were younger, weren't able to go and upstairs, or for fear of what your parents might have felt was unsafe or whatever. And then gradually, as we get older, we get a little bit more responsibility taken on. We get to school and we're in like a playground or whatever, and there's always the walls around the outside, and it's like you're always like dreaming of like why are we stuck in this freaking box? I want to go out and freaking go and see and do other cool things and have that freaking freedom. And it's like we're conditioned from a very young age, and it's like, you know, and then you get through school and you go to college or whatever, and it's the same thing, and you gradually get in a little bit more freedom. But why not just have all the freedom in the beginning, you know? It's the same thing. It's in a box, and we don't have to be like that anymore. There's ways out there of, you know, of not having to be stuck in that box. You know, you're the person that wants to think outside the box and get outside the box instead of going to what society wants you to do and be stuck in staying in that box. So like with me, it was like the box was for me growing up on the farm. You know, and it's that, you know, what you were talking about. I think you were talking about, you know, there's those mental blocks that we have inside of us that, you know, even though I'm on the farm, you know, I kind of feel like I would expect to take it on and work every day after I left school, that I was going to, and I built a wall mentally. I'm here on the farm, I've got to do this thing, I've got to take responsibility for each animal and get everything done. Where
You over there, Ian? Or did he freeze on us? Because he froze on us.
They took action upon that. You know, found what we have online, you know, and freaking well, you know, started coming to events this time last year, realized that, you know, there is no freaking box anymore, that you set, you know, whatever limits you want on you, and the truth is there is no limits, you can do anything you want. And yeah, that's kind of what I realized this time last year when I started, you know, coming to events. And since having never traveled before, when I got to Orlando last year, I was like, how many times have I been? Orlando, so I've been to America 4 times in the last year, and then Bali last year before. At all, I got my passport specifically to get to our company event this time last year, and realizing that, you know, there is no box anymore. You can do anything you want, and it's like how you do anything is how you do it. How you do everything is how you do anything is how you do everything. You know, so like, were you that person when you was at school who was like thinking, I don't want to be in this playground with these walls and fences around me anymore outside? Or are you the person that was completely comfortable being in that playground? You know, it's like, what's the point in living your life when you only see such a small amount of what is really out there? Because there's so much out there, and it's like you're in that playground and you're stuck in one tiny bit of a corner where you are right now. But you can just go out so easily and walk out and go and freaking see what is truly out there, and there's so much out there. That's kind of what I've realized over this last year, and yeah, so yeah.
No, that's true, and don't get it twisted. As far as just because we mentioned earlier, as far as schools, we're not saying school's not important. School education is more important than anything, especially in today's time. Whether it be academic education, professional education, and the one thing that's really underrated because they're not taught in the educational system is financial education. Napoleon Hill mentioned in Think and Grow Rich, he was you can tell basically earlier in the book, they was really disappointed as far as the school system not teaching students how to have basically a definite chief aim, you know, definite major purpose in life. What do they want in their life? They don't really teach that in schools. Again, I'm saying that we never said school's not important. Again, it's more important than anything, especially in the information age. But what about what you want? I mean, let's be honest. Aaron just had a team member say this past weekend too. That was the one thing that he asked. What is it you want in his life? I mean, some people really can't sit back and answer that out of rip. I used to ask a question in my own my old company before it was shut down. Another home-based business company. As far as like, if money and time was an option, what would you do? I would get some looks from people like I landed from Mars, because I mean, there's nothing against them. It's just that you didn't really know what you want in your life. I mean, you had all the money and the time in the world. I mean, what do you want to do? That's something to just really sit back and think about. Again, the school system, again, not pass on to schools or whatever, but they don't really help teach people to basically have a purpose in life. If you really have that drive or the urge to do something too, you'll find a way to do it. I know Jim Rome said it best as far as Formal education will make you a living. Self-education will make you a fortune. It's just a choice about which one do you want, you know, in life. Now, if you're in a particular job that you know, that you might not like or whatever, but you're still working in there too. Again, I'm not going to bash that job. I mean, employees are just as important today as the business owners. And again, it's your choice as far as which ones you want to choose. And we can go all night as far as this different advantages. You know, we can start with tax advantages, obviously the profits or whatever. But we're not here to talk about that. We're here to just really just get you out of that stinking thinking too. Because if you have something that you want to do too, we're more than welcome to help you. Just show you a vehicle to get into whatever it is that you want. Because again, that's one thing that was shared to us this past weekend as far as getting out of that mentality. Once you're in that type of that quote unquote systems mentality, unfortunately, there are a lot of people that just stay negative because they just have, as Patricia brought up earlier, those limiting beliefs as far as, oh, I can't do this, or oh, that's not happening to me, or oh, you're doing that, or that's too risky, or whatever. Like, where did we get the sources from? It makes no sense. It's like, have you done it? You know, I mean, come on, let's be real. Have you done it before? Have you seen somebody be successful before? Or do you see somebody fail and then you say, oh, they failed, so I'm not going to do that? Okay, that's not smart. That's nothing. That doesn't help you as far as educating yourself as far as, ooh, can I make this thing happen? Again, there's another book Napoleon Hill mentioned in The Master Key to Riches that he wrote in his later years, as far as, you know, always question the sources of information that you're getting from things. It doesn't matter what type of information it is. Do your own research for it. Don't have to worry just taking somebody's word. Not saying that person's a bad person. Why not do your own investigation on something? It can go down to anything. You can talk about health. You can talk about the sporting arena, whatever. Well, why not do your own education other than just going by what the masses are looking at too? That's just something to think about too. Again, we can go all night about that too. We're going to be bringing up some bits and pieces of that too. But that's just some of the stuff I'm pretty sure you hear maybe on a daily, weekly, monthly basis from people. The trash that they feed their heads constantly, unfortunately. You know. So anybody else want to keep on going on too as far as this? All right, cool, because I can keep on going on. Trust me, I'm still not even close to being done. Unless you want to come out, Patricia, come on.
Okay, I just had to unmute myself. I was looking at our notes too of what you wrote in the event page there that we had, and I don't know why I could not find it earlier, but I have it now. And we're talking about the educational systems, the job system, and the government. When we go through course of life, like Ian was just talking about, you know, we're expected to do certain things, you know, when we reach pivotal moments in our lives. Like, for instance, you know, we're in school, and we know that there's development in life. You know, if you're an infant, you're going to do things of an infant. When you're a toddler, you're going to do things as a toddler. They have books about that. So there's certain milestones that a parent, of course, expects their children to achieve and accomplish. And then when that doesn't happen, they run and they take their child to the doctor because he hasn't started walking yet or he hasn't started talking yet. Okay, but we're talking about natural things that happen in development in life. But what Ian is talking about, when we get older, you know, playing in that playground, you know, thinking beyond the walls, thinking of, oh, you know, the adventure. I remember when I was growing up, on Saturday mornings, we used to have a show called, it was children's movies. And they would show movies that were international movies from all across the world. You know, they had, what are those, like film festivals for children. So there was one called The Red Balloon, which happens to be my favorite movie from all time as a child. And there was a little boy and his red balloon. I don't know if any of you guys are familiar with that. You can Google it and find it. And the little boy, of course, he was teased because his best friend was this red balloon. And his classmates were bullying him, trying to break the balloon, as you can imagine. And he was holding onto the balloon, and eventually he fell, I believe, as the gang members were chasing him. and he released the balloon, and the balloon flew up in the air. And of course he was saddened because I think I haven't seen this movie, like I said, since I was like little. But from what I remember is when the balloon flew up in the air, as we know, you may never see the balloon ever again, right? But eventually the balloon came back to him, and it was, all happy, and he was happy and everything. But why am I relating this story is because, he was thinking beyond the other bullies in his class. And so the same thing is, we are bullies to ourselves, or we have this mentality of regimes, for instance, our education, the job, again, and different things that are in a mold. They're putting us into a mold, and we want to be different. And sometimes we're forced to be different, because if we happen to lose our jobs, what are we going to do? We have to find a different way to live our lifestyle. Not only do we have to find a different way to live, but we're forced to find a different way. So all of these different, or all of these ideological, how does I say this, systems that are set up, we don't have to fit in those molds. We can be different. And that's why I believe all of us are in internet marketing, because we have read the mindset books, like Robert Kiyosaki, when he was talking about education. They don't teach financial education to kids. And we've talked about this before. The college kids, they get into school, they get into college, and they get a credit card. And when they get this credit card, they're paying for pizza and partying, as opposed to getting a real education. And then they have a $20,000 debt from spending on a credit card that they have to pay off in 50, 60 years. It takes them to pay off. So we don't want to fit that mold. We want to teach people a different mindset, a different way to earn money in this system. So, all I can tell you is, if they align with us and our partnership together, they could learn how to live a different mindset and a different lifestyle.
And Tom, it's right, because it's really just a change in thinking, really, for you to get away from that that type of mentality. Now, is it going to be right away? Nah, it's going to happen right away. It's going to be it's going to take some time. You got to form up the right habits, and you have to have the discipline to get the habits. You see it in sports all the time, as far as certain athletes getting to the top of their game too, as far as just working on their craft. I mean, people see the successes, but they don't see the grind of what those guys do. Doesn't matter what type of sports. I mean, go down the list. I think, Aaron, we were talking about this with Neil too during the event, as far as like some of the top athletes too, even at an older age, are still at the top of their game. And again, what that type of mentality, a systems mentality, would think, oh man, the older you get, slow down. That's not true. That is far from the truth. Because I remember the same book I mentioned earlier, The Master Key to Riches, Napoleon Hill wrote. He's like, man, the older you get more wiser. It's more experience. That's not true as far as slowing down or anything. Because you keep yourself in top shape, if you still perform, trust me, that's still a need for you, especially in team sports. I've been playing football since I was 14, so in high school, college, semi-pro as well. Some people always say, "Oh man, you slow down the older you get." That is so not true. I've seen guys that have played arena ball at mid-30s for the first time. I've seen had a teammate this past season who was playing arena ball. He's a year older than me. So I mean, you can't tell me. I'm 31. He's 32. You can't tell me, oh, the older you get, you slow down. That's not true. And by the way, his teammate the playoffs. Come on, man. I mean. You can't tell me you're seeing something like that too. Are you still gonna have to limit to belief because you don't believe in yourself? That's the thing. It kind of throws me off as far as thinking. It's like, really, you're seeing somebody else do this? That's almost like saying, to change the subject now. It's almost like saying, oh, rich people are evil, or all rich people are bad. Or really, who are the ones that do a lot of throwing a lot of money to charities, different foundations, throughout the world, really. People don't talk about that too in the news and media. Don't know why, because I don't know. I guess it's too positive or something. But that's just something to really think about too. You see one article of maybe a millionaire, a billionaire, a business owner, whatever, for whatever reason it's negative, but you don't see the positive side, like I just mentioned earlier, as far as the money they give out to charities.
Hey, Andre, if I could interject here for a moment. You just mentioned something that struck me that I heard on an audio that I listened to once, and it was about the fact that you said, sometimes people think that rich people are bad, or being rich is bad. They're this and that. All these negative thoughts about rich people. Well, when you have that mindset about rich people, that's limiting you from being rich, because you've developed that belief that rich people are bad, whatever, and that's subconsciously that's in your mind. That's your subconscious is going to try and prove that to you over and over again until you change that belief. And so when you believe that rich people are bad, your subconscious is going to do everything it can to keep you from being rich. So just wanted to throw that in there. I thought that was pretty profound when I heard it, and once you mentioned that, it reminded me of that. So
that is so true, man. I remember listening to a training that we have too, one of our products, and one of our $1 million earners. And again, income disclosure when I'm talking about some of the results, because the results are not typical, but they are possible. And it was Tracy Walker. She's one of our $1 million earners within our company. And I don't know if you guys have seen her or not, but she was talking about, as far as I guess, setting up your different accounts for business and maybe for your personal life. And somebody within her team, or I guess somebody within the training who was live, he was afraid of making more money, because he at one point in life made a handful of money, but he lost it all. And Aaron, you hit it right on point too, as far as she's basically almost stopped her own training and said, whoa, we can't go any further until you fix that thinking process right there what you mentioned. Because like you just said, you close the box as far as having the abundance come to you, having that type of mentality. That's a trap a lot of people put themselves in today's time. As Patricia mentioned earlier, Robert Kiyosaki calls it a rat race. That is true. That is very true, as far as that type of mentality, as far as thinking, oh, if I made a handful of money, but then I'll lose it all, too. I mean, yeah, you can talk about the disciplines and yada, yada, yada. There's a handful of other stuff we can talk about that, too. But that mentality, that type of thinking right there, you got to wash your brain from that. Again, there's one good way to do that, and once you click below and get your free download, so you can get your free ebook, you can help yourself to that to help eventually get rid of the process of the whatever type of negative thinking that you have. Again, it's a time thing. It's a process. It's not going to happen over time. But if you just, well, number one, if you have something that you're going after, a purpose, eventually, you're going to be able to give it just that thinking, that mentality process.
I have something to say. I just met a lady last night who is in another business, and her company is worth $10 million right now. She's an older lady. I believe she's in her 70s. And she was a single mother coming from a different country. She was coming from El Salvador. And she said that, she doesn't even speak broken English. I mean, she doesn't even speak good English. She speaks broken English. And she even had sold people. She goes to a client, and they speak English. She speaks Spanish. They don't speak any Spanish. She doesn't speak any English. But they've been her clients for such a long time, meeting them. If she had never gone, if she had self-limiting beliefs, right, she was already a go-getter. But if she had said, they speak English, I only speak Spanish, I cannot talk to them. And if she had stayed at home, she would have never have been in the position that she is now. Because going to those clients, talking to them, and of course them being patient with her, they hooked up, and through those people, she has a downline of people that built her organization where her business is now $10 million. Okay? So you are talking about somebody who is from another country. We have people who are in our organization from Russia, right? I believe it's, what was her name? Polina. She is from Russia 2 years ago. She did not speak any English, according to what she says. Maybe she knew a few things like hello, where's the bathroom, simple things like that. But what she was on stage at the last event, and the girl is making buco bucks. So it talk about what we want to achieve, and again, money is for a purpose. You know, if you don't want to make a lot of money, that's fine. Or if you happen to where you do make a lot of money, for instance, this lady last night, she was single from another country, had 3 children she had to raise by herself. You know, she is now married, but think about that. If she said money is not worth anything, getting up, her children said they didn't even see her from 5 o'clock in the morning till 10 o'clock at night. She was out with her making money. I think she had a job in the meantime, a full-time job, and then after the job she'd go on to see her clients. And eventually, like I said, she built that up where she could just put her full-time job on the side, and again, this woman is making buco bucks. So we have got to get rid of that negative mindset that we can't speak English. That money, you know, what did Aaron just say? Rich people are evil, and a whole host of things that we could probably list that people are thinking of negatively. If they would just change their mindset, get some self-development books, which we have a free. Andre, did you mention the one we have? You mentioned it, but it's free. They could download it right now. Think and Grow Rich, right? They can change their mindset to thinking about why they could do this business. And especially people who, I get it all the time. People say, oh, well, I don't have money. You don't have money to buy a $17 trial for 2 weeks that you could cancel? You know, you don't have money for that. You don't have $25, and you could cancel in 30 days if you feel that this is not a business for you. But you don't even want to get to the point that you could try. You think it's a scam. You think it's this. We are 4 people on here. We're missing our 5th person, which is Neil. I don't know where he is. But we're all in the business. So we have been in the business for a while. We're making money online. So you could do this too. If we could do it, you guys could do it. Sorry I went on a rant right there, but, you know, hey, I have to be honest.
Oh, no, that's fine, because, I mean, this is something, again, we could go all night on as far as that. I mean, hopefully that when you're paying attention, you're understanding, too, that's really what all it begins with, as far as having that mentality. I mean, how many times have you heard it with our company owner as well, David Wood, as far as work on the transformations on the inside so you can produce the transformations on the outside? You know, because that's where it all begins. Going back to the sporting arena, as I mentioned earlier, I've been playing semi-pro, since I mentioned earlier, I've been playing semi-pro football for the last 8 years, but not this past season, but last year. I won a championship, not only helping my teammates out, but with somebody who, by the way, was 50 years old. So, I mean, you know, talking about, as far as that type of, the system mentality would think, oh, man, there's no way. I mean, come on now, he played right beside me. You know, I'm talking about starting too. He didn't want to start. A couple games he did have to just help out the team, but I mean, we got it done. You know what I'm saying? We got it done. So that's what I'm saying. As far as just that, unfortunately, the society's for thinking, system mentality would think, oh man, otherwise as far as that. But if you seriously want it bad enough, come on, you can make it possible. I mean, what was it when Ray Kroc started McDonald's? He was like in his mid-60s. And I think it was him, and if I'm not mistaken, Colonel Sanders for KFC. He was in the elderly age too when he got started with that business as well. So I mean, what's holding you back? Patricia brought up a good point as far as like, oh, okay, I don't have $17. So you're saying you don't have, let's say if you have kids, you're saying you don't want to go invest on yourself to go help out the rest of your family, you know? Or it's like, oh, I don't have the time. Oh, that's the main reason why I should start something like this. I mean, we can go on and on and on. I've learned, but no offense too, but I've learned from a handful of the best too in the profession over the last few years. When I was in the offline, again, the offline part of the home-based business profession, my upline at the time was from the Big A. And for those in the home-based business profession, you guys know what I'm talking about too. But they've been in that company for over. At that time, they had been in that company for over 20 years before they left and decided to join the company we were part of before, again, that was shut down. But I learned a lot of tricks from them as far as just how to talk to people, get rid of those limited beliefs, too, and just how to just basically overcome those objections. Because that's all it is. It's not so much help us trying to help you overcome your own objections, but you trying to overcome your own objections. You know, like Patricia said, as far as why not give it a shot and come and join us. You see the Yes Let Me In link right there to come join us, and she just told you flat out what it is. I mean, you can go and just share your passions, what you love to talk about, too. We love to blog, too, but as you can tell, before we even started talking about the word blog, we didn't even mention about that because there's a lot more to go into that you got to feed yourself before you even start wanting to go and write out whatever it is to share. You know, you can go do videos as well. All of us on this panel, we've been doing a handful of videos. So if you follow us on our Facebook profiles, we're posting videos, inspirational quotes, the whole 9 yards too. But we were working on this first. I heard it one time in a conference call, and this is from somebody that basically Aaron's on this guy's team, and he's a $500,000 earner within our company. Again, income disclosure because his results not typical. But I'll never forget that it was a conference call, daily conference call that he likes to have, and he had somebody that came on who was in real estate who said, you know, when you continue to feed your mind, in due time, your mind will feed your wallet, and that is so true. It doesn't matter how long it takes, but I mean, again, you have to ask yourself, is your goal, is your dream, is your purpose worth it? I mean, I would hope so. I mean, again, if you have a family, I hope you don't just go and just say, nah, forget that. Because, I mean, you're not going to look at your kids if you have kids and be like, oh, yeah, I decided to quit, so you're going to quit on them. You know, I mean, in team sports, why would I want to quit beside the person I'm playing right beside? You know, especially in football. It doesn't matter what team sport. It could be baseball, basketball, hockey, or lacrosse, or whatever sport. I mean, why do you want to quit on the person that you're right beside, too? It's easy to quit. You know, I mean, Napoleon Hill said it, you know, best too. You know, quitters never win, winners never quit. So, I mean, you know, just get rid of that type of mentality, that type of thinking, as far as what the system's mentality will keep you trapped in. You know, we have the whole list of stuff too.
That's true. And another thing that this person brought out yesterday was that she had a friend the friend asked her to join the business, and the friend quit the business. Again, the person didn't have the vision. We have to have a vision of what this company can do for us, and that's why it's important to put up a vision board, what we want to accomplish, because if we don't have that fully in front of us all the time, we will not know the direction we need to take to accomplish that. And she said when her friend got her to join, she joined, and then the friend quit. Now, again, I mentioned that the woman is making her company is worth $10 million. And she's leaving a legacy for her children, the 3 girls that she had, and her grandchildren. Built her mother a brand new house in El Salvador, because that's where she's from. And the thing is, the friend, she doesn't know where the friend is, so she's going to put out a search to find this friend and help her out. Now, she's in a position to help this friend. Now, whether the friend wants to join the business, she does not know. But she said that she wants to show her appreciation because of what this friend did. And there's another example. We remember, is it Apple? Yeah, Apple Computers. There were 3 partners, as you know. And there's Steve Jobs, Wozniak, and I can't remember the name of the other person. Well, because he did not want to, I think it was $900 that he wanted to, or he wanted, not wanted, but they wanted him to invest. Sorry, I'm tongue-tied. I'm trying to remember the story. That he was supposed to help them something with the business. I can't remember exactly what. But anyway, he didn't want to take that risk, and they wrote him a check for $2,300. And he was able to walk out of being a partner with them. But now, and I forget the stats of what he would be worth now, but we're talking about billions of dollars. Was it 40 billion or something? My husband's over here telling me something, you know, I'm not sure what it is, but it's a gigantic number of zeros behind the number if he had just stayed with Apple Computers. and he just did not see the vision. He wrote himself off. They gave him a check for $2,300. So what do we see? It's the right place and the right time. Is it for you? For $17, I hate to be pitching that, but that's the truth of the matter. For $17, you can have a trial period to get in the business. And our blog is $25. So, and our products range from $3,000, and if you get all in, it's $5,000. I mean, I'm being frank with the numbers because this is where you can take yourself in the future. And if you position yourself, you'll be able to make that back 1,000-fold. And you can help other people with your correct mindset about what money can do for you.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of funny we always talk about income disclosures, and especially what we were talking about earlier as well too. But I mean, we've all been to school, and again, it doesn't matter what part of education that we stop. Perfect example. Aaron, I mean, I know you went to college too. I know Patricia, you did too. They didn't give you an income disclosure as far as guarantee you what you could possibly be making once you graduate with that degree? Because they didn't tell me that when I graduated in 2006. So I'm just kind of curious. Did they ask you that too?
Absolutely not. I never got any income disclaimer or disclosure, about what I would expect after I graduated college. As a matter of fact, after my first 2 years out of college, I got a job working at an engineering firm, and I thought it was a safe and secure job. I thought I was pretty well set up. Then all of a sudden, out of the blue, 3 of us got laid off just out of nowhere. Did not see it coming. So I know that nothing is guaranteed when it comes to living that normal lifestyle, the American dream or whatever that people always preach about and are always saying, it's a safe place to be and all this stuff, but what I've learned is that you may be in your comfort zone, but what I've found is that being in your comfort zone really isn't all that comfortable. You're worried constantly about how you're going to make it to the next paycheck, and it's just one of those things. You may have money coming in, but it's going out just as fast as it's coming in, and that's a struggle that a lot of people worry about from day to day, week to week, month to month, and then you're just looking forward to the next year when you might get your big tax return, if you're lucky enough to get a tax return or whatever, or a Christmas bonus or whatever. And so, you're looking forward to those moments just to keep you caught up, just to keep you above water. And what I like about having my own business is I get to choose the level that I want to take it to. I get to not only do that, but also build myself up, build other people up around me. I get to learn cool things that have helped me and put that out into the world so that it can help other people do the same, because it's really cool to get out of your own comfort zone and do that for yourself, but it's even more cool to see other people transform. It's something that is awesome to see. I've seen it. I've been to 4 events now where this has happened, and just to see that shift in somebody's mindset, see that shift in belief, it's totally worth it. So whatever is being asked of you for, to just try out what we're talking about here, just go ahead and take a leap of faith and do it. Come look around. Come inside. We're inviting you inside. It's like an open house. Come inside, take a look around, see if it's for you or not. See if it's something that is in alignment with what you want. And if it isn't, that's cool. There's a way out of it. So it seems like a no-brainer to me. So yeah, that's what I've got.
I could agree less with what you just said, man. As far as that, especially those that are watching, might be in another company. We just want to just use this as a tool to help you build your business. I mean, how many times have you seen different people throughout the profession that have used within our community the products to help build their businesses, not even online or in the home-based business profession. Sometimes it's traditional businesses as well to help, just build their business wherever it is. traditional brick and mortar business, maybe online, maybe regular network marketing, wherever have you. I think it's pretty cool. I mean, here are a couple of things too that I was just looking to what Aaron brought up as well too that was shared too at the event, and this is something too with having your own home-based business that's pretty cool. And for one is you get to be the creator too. Now you get to use the right side of the brain as far as being creative with it. As we mentioned earlier too, it's a blog platform too. Guess what? You can share whatever it is that you're passionate about. Why not? Whatever it is that you choose to be passionate. It doesn't have to be just business. It can be lifestyle. It could be personal development or whatever have you. You could be talking about your cat, your dog, sports, whatever. Why not use that? You're the operator. That's the cool thing about that, as well as one of our leaders too within our community, Lawrence Tammy, said, "Hey, use the tools. Why not use the tools? You got 2 weeks to do this. Use the tools. Don't be the tool." And yeah, that's something that he shared that I thought was hilarious, but it's true. It's true. I mean, a lot of people, and Patricia, you brought this up earlier too. People get into, and if it doesn't work, they don't get paid like the next minute after signing up. They want to start complaining about everything. No. Going back to Robert Kiyosaki, if you remember that cash flow quadrant, don't be on the left side where the E and the S is. That's where all that complaining is, and you just want to put the blame. Now, go look in the mirror to focus more on the right side, the B and the I side, the big business and investor part, too, as far as like, all right, it takes time to be building a legacy for your family. So again, that's something to keep in mind as well too. And another thing that we've had too, one of the leaders within the group that Patricia's part of in the Superwoman community, she brought up too, and this is a pretty cool thing too, and I'm glad I wrote this down too within this past event as far as 3 C's. Get to be a part of the community once you decide to hop on and join forces with us as well too, and then also you can also be a catalyst. Whether if you don't have a business or maybe you already do too, why not be a catalyst to, but not only the business that you decide to join us with, but also maybe the business that you're already working in too, and also be the catalyst just to for change, just pretty much just something different, just to be that sticking out at a sore thumb in a good way too, and you get to become a teacher as well too. Just something that we've been taught too is once you learn something, why not go and teach it? Why not go and share it? Now that it gives you, as far as just helping you to become an authority within your community too. And then obviously too, you got, like we mentioned earlier too, you have the collaboration of the community as well too, as far as just to help you, just give you some ideas too, and some advice too to help you build your business. So that's something to really keep in mind as well too once you decide to join us and join forces with us. So that's what I want to share. I'm glad you brought it up, Aaron, too, just so I can remember that from this past weekend. Because one thing too, once going to company events, you don't want to leave this to have notes in here, as Mike Costa said too. Just don't leave the notes in here because those are uncashed checks.
Andre, we see a circle of you and the original picture of you and Neil and Ian. I don't know what happened to your face.
Sure.
Yeah. Can you see him, Aaron? You can? I can't see him. I don't know why. It's funny the way Google Hangouts are. I just see the original image of the 3 of them. It's weird. Anyway.
Okay, that's fine. That's fine.
Now I see you. Now I see you.
Okay, that's cool. Anything else you guys want to go cover as far as what we were mentioning tonight? Anything else? Whoops.
Anything else, Aaron?
Yeah. So I wanted to touch on something that one of my team members, his name is Rob Skinner. He's owned like over 50 businesses in his lifetime. He used to own car dealerships and all this other stuff. And he was telling me the other night that to start any business, usually you've got to have a minimum of about $50,000 just to get a business going, a traditional business. So in comparison to that figure, what we're doing here is so much less of an investment, but it is an investment. You're not spending money, you're investing money. There is a huge difference. Spending means you're giving it up, you're giving it away. Investing means you're putting something into it so that you can get some sort of a return on it. And I got to tell you, just from my personal experience, that I've gotten so much personal development. I've made money. I've made friendships that are going to last a lifetime. I've built relationships. I've gotten to go to really, really cool places, just for all these events. And the future is a clean slate right in front of you. So what are you going to do with it? Are you going to sit there and dwell on the past and what's happened to cause you to fail, to believe the things that you believe that are holding you back, or are you going to take advantage of this clean slate that you have that lies ahead of you and do something different? Because if you want to achieve something different, you need to do something different. So that's the main message that I want to get across to you. So
that's right on point, man. That is right on point too. As far as just making that decision, that's what it comes down to. Henry Ford said it best years ago. Whether you think you can or you think you can't, you're right. So it just a matter of what you want to do. I see you about to come on out, Ian. What do you want to say, man?
So just join now, Yeah, well, what you were saying though, people freaking quit too easily in this style of business. It's like, what you're really ready to go through to live your dreams. If it takes you a year, 2 years, 5 years to live a life on your own terms of freedom, to be able to do what you want, when you want, where you want, with who you want to do it with, what are really worth going through, what
You over there, Ian?
Oh, we don't know what happened. Uh-oh. Ian, I think he froze again.
That's all good. That was good.
Uh-huh.
That's all right. Wow.
Oh, well.
Didn't want to cut him off or anything, but well, I mean,
Yeah.
shoot, hey, like you said, if you got value from what we shared tonight too, hey, let us know below in the comments as well. Love to read your comments too if you got any value from what was shared too. Because I mean, like we mentioned earlier tonight, it's true as far as fixing what's happening going on in here before you really still start seeing the outcomes here. If I'm not mistaken, what Ian wanted to get across is how long is your dream worth it? However long it takes. I remember Aaron, we mentioned too, as far as it was something Les Brown shared a few years ago back too, as far as like you don't want to be in your deathbed and then you have all the potential youths looking at you, as far as like, man, you could have been this, you could have done this, you could have done that too. That's the worst way to go out, in life. Why not go ahead and just give it a shot, just going after it, So this was one thing I wanted to mention as well too, and also too. Keep in mind too, we'll be back same time, same place next week, 6 p.m. Eastern time as well. Or for those out there in the other part of the world, in the UK especially, we'll be out there in 11 p.m. or out there in the West Coast and Mountain West, 3 p.m., 4 p.m. that time. So, Ian, you back over there, man? We couldn't hear you, man. You
Yeah.
kind of cut out on us.
I haven't been able to hear what any of you guys have been able to say, but I just heard that last bit that you're saying. So I'm not sure what's been said yet, but yeah, leave a comment down below, and and share, how we can serve you more, how we can give you, even more value that, maybe,
Yes, good point. He says we can give them more value. Ian, you're breaking up again for whatever reason. You're frozen. But yeah, more value to get with either one of us that are on the panel. We're here to help you. We're here to serve. I believe that's what he was trying to say, right, Andre?
I believe so.
Yeah, he's probably.
I'll make it enough. All I got to say.
Uh-oh. Sorry. He's having a bad connection.
That's all.
Well, this is our technical difficulties that we have. It's to be expected. Some of us know how the Google Hangouts work, so sometimes we get people on. Even here in the United States, Ian happens to be over in England, but even here we can be in the United States and having problems as well. So, you know, we're kind of used to it, but at least we got the message out, right, Andre?
That's so true. It comes to show you don't have to be perfect to build this business.
Yeah.
Hey, nothing has to be all I's dotted, T's crossed. So that's something to keep in mind as well. So again, we'll be back here same time, same place next week, 6 p.m. Eastern Time or 3 p.m. Pacific Time, 4 p.m. Mountain West Time. And with that being said, love you guys. We will see you guys next week.